What is going on? We are back. Savage Patriots here, live and in
Happy
charge.
Monday.
Yo, yo.
It was a crazy weekend. Sorry, guys, I was not here for the last two shows. Um, but I think y'all understand why now. So that's good.
We held it down.
Yeah,
We
you
held
did.
down the
Yeah,
fort
we had it
model.
down.
Yeah, things are going good. I'll tell you that. Things are going good.
Mhm.
For those of you on Facebook, I'm getting there. Let me just get you to public so you can see. Okay, there we go. All right.
Which
Facebook
page
is
is it on?
officially live. It's on
Is it
my
on your
personal one. I haven't put
okay,
it
your
on the grunt or anything like that. I didn't know if you guys were up and
I'll
running
do
for
it.
lives or not.
Yeah, we can run lives on here.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
put
just
it on.
share it to there.
And it's running on X on the Hooch, so good.
All right. Well, if you guys ever wondered what the fruition of the LGBTQIA plus Disney plus
You forgot the
premium
two.
version
Mm.
of gay is and how it ends up in real time,
Yeah.
look no further than Cardin's Senate office staffer, who decided it would be a grand idea to film um, same male on male intense
Porn.
lovemaking scenes on the Senate floor.
Yeah. Pegging.
Um, yeah, yeah, but it'll definitely get you going out the door. See, the biggest thing about this whole thing
Always
is
been Mr.
the
Clean. What are you talking about?
yeah. the, the biggest
I
thing
actually
about
did
this
get
whole
it.
issue is the fact that he's now the victim.
Oh yeah,
Of
I'm
course.
I'm the victim. Of course he's the victim, you know.
That's
Yeah,
the best
I mean-
part. That's the best part.
I mean,
You
that's
can't-
what they do best, right? You know, this is the biggest problem with Congress and all these people is that there's no accountability ever. Like we talked
Mhm.
about on other episodes, you could show them tape, red-handed. That's his face. That is him. Look at him doing it, and they'll still be like,
It's homophobia.
That's
It's
that's
homophobic
gay."
for you to say that's not okay. It's like,
Expected.
dude, it would be the same if it was just a dude in like his freaking like it was a female aide banging a dude for like OnlyFans. It would be the same thing, man. It doesn't matter that he's getting pegged by a dude. It's the fact that you did it in the Senate. That's the issue here.
Is it-
not just
is
not
it-
just not just in the Senate, but film it and think that it was in your tactical best interest to post it online.
Right?
Well, okay. Hear me out. You remember those teachers that would get mad when they get fired because they have an OnlyFans page,
Yeah.
and then they
Mhm.
would say stuff like, "Oh, what I do in my private time is except that your private time is now public time." And
Right.
so when your private is now public, it's no longer private. So you don't have that excuse of you doing it
don't
behind
have
closed
election.
doors when you're doing it in an open screen. So I don't get how you can say stuff like, here's his statement. This is not made up. This is him. This has been a difficult time for me. I'm surprised you didn't say this has been a hard time for me.
But
As I have been attacked for those I love to pursue. Well, no, as I have been attacked for who I love to pursue a political
that's
agenda.
not the issue. That
While
is not
some
the
of my actions in the past have shown poor judgment, like in yesterday, okay, I love my job and would never disrespect my workplace, even though I did. At
Too late.
any attempts to characterize my actions otherwise are fabricated, and I will be exploring what legal options are available to me in these matters.
Okay.
Can we parse
Here's-
that out line by line?
I'll parse
please?
it out for you. Here's a simple example of why this is stupid. If a teacher filmed banging in the class and posted it to her OnlyFans, would you not expect her to get fired rapidly and very shortly? Yes.
No, because it's only you're just firing her because of who she loves.
Oh yeah, no. Here, the second example. If you're at 10,000 feet and you go, we're gonna be pegging each other here up in the front, so if it gets a bit bumpy,
Don't
you would
be
expect
worried.
him to lose his job, right? Not because
No,
of who he's loving.
That's judgmental. By these people's standards, that's judgmental. Now, here's my point about this. When you allow one thing leads to another thing, to another thing, to another thing. Look at the White House celebration for Christmas, for crying
Oh
out
my
loud.
gosh.
Look at the
Yeah.
Easter celebration for crying out loud. And you don't expect this to next be the look. I am surprised. I am honestly surprised that they have not yet had this kind of activity while actually voting on something. I'm genuinely not. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. I'm not lying.
Oh,
Like, I'm
man.
surprised they haven't said, okay, look, we're gonna be voting, but before we vote, if you want to participate in this, we'll be having a group activity, and it'll be available for the public to see. Because I'm telling you, that's not far fetched from the near future.
Oh man.
If you think it's far fetched, watch,
As long as we
because
don't
they
have to,
will want this. They will want it.
as long as we don't have to have any close-ups of Nancy Pelosi, I think we'll be all right.
But I don't think they'll
Ugh.
care.
Or Bernie
I don't think
Sanders.
they'll care.
Oh,
I don't think they'll care, because at the end of the day, they don't even. Okay, think of it this way: if you watch the senator, what they said about it, right? This is their
What
statement.
was the official response from the senator himself?
This is what they said. Okay, I couldn't believe it myself, but they said it is a personal matter and they have nothing more to say. We will have no further comment on this personal matter.
It's not a personal matter. It's a personnel matter.
Wait. I got a question.
Mhm.
So you remember the whole Santos debacle, right?
Mhm.
They took him out because of something he did outside
Mhm.
of the Capitol building, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now they got to think about it or whatever, look into it now for something someone did that was lewd inside
Mhm.
of the building. Make that
Yeah.
make sense. Somebody make
Yeah.
it make
Yeah.
sense.
Filmed.
I am
Film.
glad that it's okay to get pegged in the Senate, but not okay to put your feet on Nancy Pelosi's desk without getting arrested.
Oh.
I am so happy for that. I am glad our system
Me
of
too.
justice allows the ability to do a man, but not put your shoes on a desk.
Those desks
amazing.
cost a lot of money now.
They do.
Oh,
Or to
yeah.
or to take a lectern and then just place it wherever the hell you wanted it to.
Yeah.
Like that was the other guy that got in trouble for that. He took the lectern and he just put it in like the middle of the hallway.
But you
or
can
whatever.
also shoot a woman through a glass and not worry
Yes.
about your life either.
Right.
Oh,
No,
and
man.
you can pull a fire alarm.
To disrupt Congress, and you'll be okay too.
Yeah, that's
right?
okay.
Because that's not interrupting a official proceeding.
Yeah.
No,
right?
not at all. No.
No.
but what I do outside of the sessions on my own time, outside of any sort of official proceedings, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Hey, you know, I just noticed something. Did you guys swap ideas, you and Coy?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Look what Jay's wearing.
Oh, the
Oh,
beanie.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
for
we
everyone
just-
in
we
the
just
audience,
traded.
Coy, I've known Coy since 2016, and he's always been bald.
I've
Just to
always
let
been
you
bald.
know.
It's just like
He's always
okay.
been
I
bald.
will throw out the mystery. The reason I normally wear a hat while I'm recording is because I am a very sweaty man, and sometimes it glistens on top of my head, and I hate that.
It's Christmas. You can glisten. It's okay.
It's glistening. Yeah, it's
Christmas.
glistening.
Sleigh bells ring. Aren't you listening? Look at Coy's head, how it's glistening. I mean, it's part of the song.
Glistening, yeah.
Sleigh bells
It
ring.
glistens.
But
It's
you-
distracting when you're recording and there's shiny bits on your head. Okay.
Yeah, when you do that, you know, when these people do stuff like this, and we've said it time and time again, and I'm always say this, we're the oracles, right? We always
Yeah.
say that they mock the American people. They're mocking us. They're like, look at me, I can do what I want. I can do this, I can do that. And they're not
That's
going to do
true.
nothing but having an investigation and all this, and then I'll just play the victim. But if Marlon, myself, anybody on this panel did something like that, we
Jail.
would be fired immediately
Jail.
Mhm.
and lives ruined. So they
Oh,
mock
yeah.
us every single day. People just need to understand that.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
You may want to hear what the guy said on his way out. Okay.
Oh, this ought to be good.
He separately denied allegations that he had accosted Representative Max Miller in the Capitol hallway by telling the Jewish lawmaker, "Free Palestine." So all this happened around the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Attempts to reach him, the guy, Mays Seropsky, something like that, on Saturday were not immediately successful. He had worked for Cardin since 2021, according to congressional records, and previously worked as an intern for who? Diane
Oh,
Diane
Feinstein.
I was gonna say it was gonna be Obama or something.
2018 to 2021. The U.S. Capitol did not respond to an email Saturday asking whether an investigation is underway because there probably is no investigation underway. Aides to Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and the Minority Leader Mitch McConnell declined to comment. Why? Because they probably have copies of the tape that they themselves use.
Yeah.
Or another theory, they have the tapes, or they engaged.
In
They
the
just
tape.
didn't get caught.
They get engaged to them. I was gonna say is like I am so glad that our United States is so oppressive that you can have gay sex in the Senate chamber and nothing will happen to you.
What are they? Okay, so do you think they'll actually investigate this?
No.
He's gonna get fired. He's gonna get reprimanded, but nothing's gonna happen of it. It's like, okay, well, that was stupid. Now you have no job, but that's the most of the extent of it's gonna be.
I think the
literally,
best
that's
thing
it.
that'll happen is
Mark-
that he'll be transferred to, like, you know, be a political analyst for like CNN or
Yeah,
something.
he'll go to work at MSNBC or something like that. He's gonna land on his feet just like everybody else in that world does.
I was gonna make a
Yeah.
joke. Go ahead.
But Marlon, but what do we always say? A shiny object, right? So
Mhm.
whenever they throw something out here, this, to me, this is me. How did this tape get out, for one? And two,
Mhm.
if it didn't get out, say it just happened, you know, would we be talking about it? Of course, we wouldn't be talking about it right now. But so there's a reason why the tape got out. You have to ask how it got out. So then you say that term we use all the time, is this just another shiny object? Is it just another shiny object? Because I think the biggest thing in the news right now is Joe Biden's motorcade getting hit. I think it's a lot more important than this. So it's always something that they're going to do to kind of throw us off track. So I don't think it's going to get investigated. I think we'll hear about it for another day or so, 2 days right before Christmas when they go into recess. And I think they are in recess right now. So after recess, guess what? No one's going to remember.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go so far as to say it might not even be, you know, leaked person. I think, you know, being an arrogant homosexual that he is with a government position, he just leaked it because he just dropped it because, you know, I'm gay. What's going to happen?
I could see that too.
That was one of the things that it was weird about the whole situation is who put it up. I mean, was it for like an OnlyFans page or something like that? Was it for something extracurricular to make a little money on the side?
Pornhub, clout.
I don't know. It's like I have no idea. Nobody's. Really
I consider this the only real insurrection that they had at the Capitol. I mean, insurrection at the Capitol. My bad. He was
very erect, sir.
My bad.
The other thing.
Oh,
This was a true insurrection. Insurrection.
And wait, what's that word again? Erection. Okay.
Insurrection.
Erection.
My bad. No, it was insurrection. Okay?
I keep messing those two up. I've heard it, and look, the thing about it is this, right? I lean to more this of what we're seeing. I don't think that they leaked it. That I consider it. Yeah, it could be a shiny object. I can see that, but I also think it's a litmus test. I think they were checking to see what the pulse of the actual American people out there would be to something like this going as normal. Like, okay, would they really be opposed to us bringing this kind of nonsense into our scheme of government? If we did do it here and we did have this included in our personal life, would they care? And I think it was a testing of the pulse, see if people would buy it, see if people would be okay with it. The same way they did when Swalwell had that Asian spy as a mistress. The same way they tested it when you found out that Pelosi's husband had a male escort in his home and they tried to pass it off as him getting attacked because he didn't want to pay the dude, because I believe that's sincerely what happened. I think he brought a junkie home to get his rocks off. The guy didn't get his money, and he got mad and broke the window when he came back in, and that's why you don't have any footage of him walking up to the house before that.
Right.
So
the illegal Canadian, by the way.
Right. And I don't believe that this is a matter of, we can't. That's why I think they call it a personal matter, even though it was done on governmental sites within the confines of the people's building. They will not be content until the people around say, we don't mind that. That sounds like it'll be good. We'll be
I
all
would
right
say,
with that. I mean, it's
honestly,
just
I
it's your
think
personal love. It's whatever whoever you love, and wherever you love them, you love them.
honestly,
The-
I think we're there already. Though I think the
Yeah.
litmus test is. I think this was the final. I don't want to say the final, but I think this was one of the many things to the where the majority of the population is like, gay people aren't having sex. Who cares? They're just gay. You love.
Yeah, it's like yeah, it's whatever. It's more the fact that where they were doing it was the issue, right? That's the main issue at play with a lot of people is like, why were you doing it there of all places? I don't care that you
Right.
did it. I care that you did it where you did it. That's it.
It's
Well,
it's the arrogance, man.
Yeah.
What guy would bring their gay lover, straight lover, doesn't matter, lover,
Mm-hmm.
would go in there and actually do
do
that.
that.
I
Yeah.
mean, even for a straight
Okay.
person, I wouldn't bring someone in there, but like, hey, let's have sex in the chambers. You know what I mean? It just makes no sense to me.
Unless
And
you want to be.
it's the arrogance of just them in general, all of them.
Right.
They're very arrogant. They think they're untouchable, and they think they can do what they want to do, and they're protected.
It's the same with the cocaine, right? When
Yeah.
they found it in the White House, no really investing. Oh, we don't know who. No fingerprints. No fingerprint. I mean, we can't really check everybody's fingerprints. I mean, but you can tell who was there on J6. You can trace them down to the exact footprints of
Right.
who was there, but you can't tell me who was having a bag of cocaine with no. It just fell out of the ether and showed up there like some kind of Minecraft stuff, and just showed up. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cocaine. Whose is it? No idea. Fingerprints? None.
But we can
Cameras
find
don't
passports.
exist.
We can find
But
passports.
you know the funny thing about fingerprints, right? I know in Texas, whenever you get your driver's license, you have to imprint on there. That little code on the back has actually your fingerprints in it. So for them to say they couldn't find fingerprints, when you scan into the White House, your fingerprints show up because it's part of your ID. So
Yeah.
this is why they're just full of crap, and they're going to be
And
full
most
of
people
crap.
that have access to the White House have security clearances of some sort. They've been vetted or they've
You have to be
given. Yeah.
and you
So
have to
they've
have
gone through all.
fingerprints.
You have
Yes.
to have fingerprinting when you're doing a security clearance of any type. We know
Bro,
this.
they need fingerprinting at the dam that we have here for electric. Come on.
Yeah.
I installed biometrics and they have fingerprint scanners at these places just to
Mhm.
get into the not even
Mhm.
high security areas. This isn't just the area to get in that normal people aren't allowed into, but everybody that works there. boom, It's right. So it's
Yeah,
not even.
but
You're talking about the White House. Come on.
but no, but
Right.
even that's kind of sort of a I don't want to say a fallacious argument because look who they invite to the White House. I mean, this is the administration that allows some trans thingy to flash the entire media and say, I'm trans. And then you got like you said, Marlon, the whole Christmas celebration of the Biden administration brought in trans things to parade around the halls of the White House. I mean,
Have we
I mean, do
shown
we? Do a lot of people know what we're talking about when we're talking about that video? That
I have it.
I
I
don't
have it
think so.
ready.
yeah,
We
okay,
don't
that
worry.
Put it up.
insane, scary video.
that?
What
Yeah,
kid want to go to the White House for Christmas? That was insanely terrifying.
I wouldn't.
I would
wouldn't.
go.
I mean, I want to do a compare and contrast between this administration's Christmas celebration and when we had
Yeah.
Melania Trump decorating the White House. I mean, Melania
Right.
Trump was just class and just it was
There's
phenomenal.
definitely been
And this one,
comparisons between the two of them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
also want to point out, in all fairness, there are and have been people that have done things in their workplace they probably shouldn't have done, but I don't think most of them were dumb enough to record them doing it.
No, some
Yeah.
have. Look at Hunter Biden. Anyway,
Yeah.
true.
True.
But he's always by himself, right? Like
It
usually,
seems like
like,
no. He is always with kids.
Yeah.
Here we go.
On the Christmas, back when the Trumps were in office, it was a great sport of the cultural left to mock the way the then first family decorated the White House for Christmas as being too, cold or weird or avant-garde. Well, guess what? You ain't seen nothing yet. Have a look at this little video released by Dr. Joe Biden to you. Thank you very much. Showing off What the hell is going on there, guys?
Yep. Yep.
It looked like a nightmare I had the other night.
I was
know
gonna
what
make
I'm
the same
waiting?
exact joke. That looks
I
like
am
a
waiting-
dream I had once.
I'm waiting for somebody to do. You know how they take out the sound and they put like basketball screeching shoes to all the dance.
Oh.
I'm waiting for someone to do that. To that video.
Have you seen all the parody videos on it?
Mm-mm.
There's a
parody
there
videos?
are a bunch
Oh,
of
God,
parody
what is that?
videos
Oh,
out
gosh.
about that.
What it is a mix between A Clockwork Orange and The Purge.
Oh my gosh, dude, you're
Oh,
so
yeah,
That's
right.
what they remind me
Oh
of.
my gosh,
That's crazy accurate right there.
Yeah,
That is-
that's
so
so
accurate.
true.
That's what I thought. As soon as I saw it, it's like, well, that's from A Clockwork, and that's Mask is from The Purge. So there they go. They go together.
Wow, that's a fantastic diagnosis
Wow.
of that video.
You know, we did
That
have an
is-
episode about predictive programming.
that is stinking. That's like AI accurate right there.
Yeah.
Predictive programming.
Yeah,
They're telling
maybe
us something.
I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't put it past it beta for RuPaul to be the designer. I would not. I really wouldn't. I would not be surprised if RuPaul was the designer for that one.
Oh man.
But you have to
Billy,
understand,
Billy
this is
What's
not
his name?
abnormal anymore for this administration, right? Okay, so they care more about so-called diversity, and look at
Mhm.
what they've done to the military. Have you seen the last military ad? And I know if you
Which
have,
one?
the
The
one
Army one?
for was it Air Force? The Air
'Cause
Force
there-
was a cartoon one that they did for the Air Force where it was a girl and she was going into the Air Force, and it was all about how she was a female trying to get into the Air Force,
I think
and
I
that she
remember seeing
finally
She got
got
two
behind a
arms or
desk
whatever?
job. It was the most arrogant, stupid thing ever. And when you watch and they compared it to, I think it was the German military, and German military is over there getting stones on their back, smashed with sledgehammers, and they're lying down on nails and all kinds of stuff.
I think that might have been the Russian military, but yeah, I get your point.
Oh my good! I'm thinking, what have we become? And I listen again. When you look at us on the world stage, yes, we have been the bullies on the playground. I get it. We've talked about that at length. That America's hands are not clean.
Yeah.
But when it
Mhm.
comes to our actual backbone that we should have kept, we have been a strong, masculine nation. We have
Mhm.
not been an effeminate nation. We have been a caring nation, but we have not been emasculated until, I would say, Clinton. And then we got further emasculated under that half black clown and gay fella, Obama. And then we've got our pants back when Trump took office. And then Jill and Joe went out and bought skirts
Mhm.
and maybe some bras, and then
Yeah.
stuffed the bras. And now we're almost on the verge of being completely castrated and be a completely different gender by the end of 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I-
if you read your history books, this kind of sounds like the fall of the Roman Empire.
It does.
We talked about
You
that.
know what I
didn't we?
mean?
I've
You
yeah,
know,
we've
I'm
talked
just
about
saying,
it.
history
We're at the, like I said, we're at the Praetorian Guard phase, right? Is like whoever you pay enough gets you in to be president, basically. That's the Praetorian Guard. Like whoever the deep state wants to be in office, and if they don't want you to be in office, they'll take care of you, like they're doing to Donald Trump. And then also is the retraction phase, which is coming up next. That's going to be really rough because you're going to see lots of chaos in the world. Because once the empire starts to retract, which we're already seeing, we're getting pulled in so many different directions, right? With the worlds that we have now. If a Democrat wins in 2024, Taiwan is gone.
Yeah.
Like it's not even a question at this point. They're trying to race the clock to get manufacturing of microchips here. If they lose Taiwan before that, we are all effed. Like without a doubt, that is when the retraction of the empire is going to happen. Is right when Taiwan's gone.
Let's get it done. We need a reset. We need a great
Okay.
reset. Let's get it over with already.
Let's see here. So, okay, we have Albania, Algeria, Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Bulgaria, Canada, China, Egypt, France, Germany, India, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Italy, Japan, Libya, Mexico, Myanmar, Netherlands, North Korea, Pakistan, Philippines, Poland, Rhodesia, Romania, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Syria, Taiwan, Ukraine, United Kingdom, and United States. Tell me what all of those have in common.
They are
Rhodesia's
all
not
part
a-
of the United Nations.
They all have nukes.
Oh,
I thought Rhodesia was gone though.
No. They all possess either nukes, chemicals, or massive missile capabilities. Now, here is my question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If this thing takes off the way they think it will, what they're hoping it will, I can see this being not just a world war where there's 4 or 5 countries or 6 or 7 countries.
No.
This will turn into something where every personnel that has either put the capabilities to have it, the options to have it, and by the time it kicks off, they will have by then. We will have a massive problem on our hands because all of them are not going to aim at each other. I'm gonna tell you now, the ones they're going to aim at first is us.
Yeah.
They're going to aim at America first.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it is going to end up being one ridiculously crazy world war. And while we think that it's going to start in Ukraine, I'm of an opinion now it's not that would be the excuse. That's the entry fee. And I think eventually once they see America limping, it's kind of like the hyenas that go after the lion after he's been gored by an ox or something, and he's kind of limping, and 7 or 10 hyenas notice, oh, you injured. By that time, though, the rest of the pride, he's like a defeated king. No one's going to come to his rescue anymore because he's already made a bad taste in everybody else's mouth. So he's going to just get consumed by the hyenas. I don't see anything recovering for America. I think we can give ourselves, the ones who don't want to participate, some time to prep. That's all I think is coming. It's time for us to prep.
Just a heads up here.
And on that point, there, we have like, I think 700 billion or 700 billionaires in America, give or take, right? And there's this thing going around where they're all starting to build these underground bunkers. And you probably saw the one when Mark Zuckerberg and a couple others are building these underground houses. So, it's like when the birds fly south, that old saying, just know that it's going to get cold. There's lots of sayings like that. So if all these millionaires are all of a sudden building all this stuff, what do they know that we don't? And to go back to Marlon's point, maybe they do know something like that is going to happen. They already know. They've been aware. This is why they're building all these underground bunkers and all this stuff, and they're hoarding food, and they're moving all this supply to these dumps that are, throughout America. So that is a good point. And, like you said, I don't think we're going to see like you see in simulations where one nuke goes off in America, then another nuke, then this country fires one, this country. They all might be aimed right here.
Yeah.
This is the prize. This has always been the prize, America. For a very long time, this has been the prize.
One of the things that they're doing is they're not building it in America. They're building it in New Zealand. That's where all the rich people are going to go. They're going to disappear to New Zealand when everything hits the fan. And the eastern and western seaboards, that's going to be gone. So it's just going to be the central United States that's probably going to be left.
More than likely.
So do you think that Cardin will be held responsible for having someone like that in his cabinet?
No.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Oh, I remember what it was. There was another example of what we're talking about. It's the rich guy that goes broke, right? When he goes bankrupt, where's all of his friends when he needs them the most? Well, he ran out of money.
Yeah,
that's what it's going to be like. It's like once the United States runs out of money, he's going to have a lot less friends around, isn't he? Especially
do we have friends now is a question.
We have frenemies. That's what we have. We have frenemies, right? We have people who are friendly to us because we give them things.
Just so you know, he's retiring, by the way.
Oh, he is?
Cardin, yes.
Oh, good. Of course.
He will not seek re-election in 2024.
Good.
Well, and he's one of how many so far? There's a huge list of them.
I heard that Bernie Sanders is going Republican.
No way.
That's what I heard. Did you not hear that?
He's going to be retiring soon, I think.
I thought he was dead, honestly.
He's
still around?
Dead, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No,
He's
I mean,
been around since Cookie Kinte was shot calling a big ballin'.
You got to remember that the majority of the Senate is like over 60 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and Congress isn't much far behind that. So, yeah, you're going to start seeing a ton of retirements because all the boomers are gotten too old and they're going to die. That's just the reality of life.
And like I said, I'm thinking about Santos and this guy that had his boy toy on the house floor. Senate floor, Congress.
Mhm.
And Santos was just sitting back sipping his latte with a grin on his face. Because here's what's going to happen, man. Say they do go after that guy. Say they do. Say they follow through and they publicize. They do the same thing they did to Santos.
Mhm.
These two are going to get together and they are going to spill the beans. I'm telling you. So you got to think about, this guy doing what he did. Like I said earlier, how many other senators have been involved in this? Because he can't be the only one, because this can't be the first time it's happened. This had to happen before. How did the guy even get in there? How did he get past the count? How did this all happen?
Mhm.
Because it's been allowed. And I think a lot of these senators were involved in it. So this is why they're not just jumping out, coming after this guy saying, "Oh, you're gone, you're gone." Just make your way out, make it disappear, kind of thing. Because
So-
they know if they threw him into fire, he's taking a bunch of them with him.
The
Yep.
one of Bernie's supporters that he actually was part of his campaign, a black dude, he recently defected too, and he says he's pretty sure that Bernie's on his way as well. Now,
That'd be interesting.
Now, here's the thing. I don't know whether or not that will happen. I don't think it'll matter either way. But if that is even slightly an option, it's an indicator that there might be a third party that will eventually come about, and it will not be an independent party. It will be a socialist party. And I think you'll start seeing people leave from the title of Democrat to the title of socialist, and you'll see it led by a few of those fringe ones. And it'll still remain a moderate to left Democrat party and a moderate to right Republican party. I don't think you'll see a rise of another conservative party.
More than likely, a populist party is what would more likely make sense, but that's wishful thinking, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of believable because you got to think of the state the American people are in right now. We know both parties are corrupt. We know both parties come every 2 to 4 years saying the same thing, never following through with anything. And a lot of American people are fed up with it, and you're hearing it more and more and more. They're both the same. Nobody trusts the party. Don't trust them. And, it used to be diehard Republican, diehard Democrats, even though they're still out there. But you get a lot more, especially the Gen Xers and the elder millennials who are kind of like, man, screw both parties. I don't want to be a part of any of it. So I think that's kind of believable, them creating that third party to where it's kind of center of right and left, kind of in the middle to where, both ideologies, are respected within this party, and them just taking people. And it's going to be the younger voters, man, the late 30s, 40s, 20s, they're going to run.
I think Kennedy's going to be really the start of that. Like if you really look at it, I think it's going to be Kennedy.
But would it go towards a more socialistic leaning? Is my question.
Well, in my personal opinion, I think this is me. This is my opinion. I want just put that out there. I think a lot more Americans, not us, but a lot more Americans are leaning towards socialism. I think a lot of I think a lot of them are scared to say it because you throw out socialism, man, you're like the villain of all villains. But I think a lot of,
as you should,
yeah, as you should. But there are a lot of people on the right and some on the left that are probably leaning towards that option because they're looking at the current option. You look at the economy, you look at all the taxes that we're paying, you look at all what our money's going, and where do they always tie that to? Capitalism. So a lot of them are probably secret socialists. They're just still in front of a camera or something, diehard conservatives. But I think behind the scenes, I think a lot of them do support it.
Here's my
that's me. That's not them. That's my opinion.
Here's what I think is that I think most people tend to lean socialist just because they see the current socialist structure. Because like to argue that the United States doesn't have socialist structures is ridiculous. It does. And the biggest one that we have to pay attention to isn't the welfare and the handouts that they talk about or the entitlements. It's the corporate socialism that we've been paying for year after year ever since 2008, right? Or even before then. I mean, every time big companies get in trouble, they're always looking for taxpayer handouts, right? So they'll take their own private money, but then as soon as they get losses or get hurt somehow, they go to daddy government and go, "Hey, help me! I'm being oppressed," and then they give them money for their losses. And I think that's what's jading most people, is that we keep paying taxes to a government who spends it on everybody else except for the taxpayers themselves. And so they want to see their money actually be used for them. That's the reason why most people turn to socialism, because they want to see their taxes actually work, right? For their individual needs, not for corporates and then other countries.
And on that note, I can, like, to Marlon's question, his point, I can kind of see a party like that working. One thing that they would have to stay away from is the word socialism. So if they created a party like that and say, okay, we're going to create a party, we're going to give the socialists what they want in this party. We're going to give them free healthcare, free this, free that, but we're also going to give the conservatives what they want. They get to keep their guns, they get to do this, limited taxes. So you start giving people in this uniparty kind of thing, you start giving each side exactly what they want within the party. All these people with different ideologies are in this one party, but they're getting what they always ask for from government. They want free healthcare. Yep, we're giving you free healthcare. You want this? You don't want free healthcare? You can pay for it. And you kind of balance it out to where everybody gets what they want under this new party. Right. Just don't call it socialism.
It's a populist party. That's my whole idea of a populist party, is being a party that actually listens to the people. That's the entire point. It's like you want to keep the hardcore constitutionalist mindset with the more liberalized policies of entitlements and self-governments. Like that's what you're looking for, is that balance, right? So having your guns, having your free speech, having your core constitutional rights protected, while giving the taxpayers actual incentives to want to pay taxes. That's the entire issue. It's like, it's not the fact that you pay taxes, it's that your taxes are being wasted. That's the big issue. It's like, most people don't mind, like you see in Europe, they don't mind paying the taxes because they see where their money's actually going. In the United States, we pay probably more taxes than anybody else, but we get nothing in return. That's the big issue between the two parties right now. Is that
I guess my only point of contention, though, is I don't want my tax dollars to pay for the free healthcare of somebody who isn't wanting to.
Right. It should be a optional system,
and
opt in, opt out.
And so that's why Obamacare lost me, and that's why I will refuse to, go that line, is because I saw that when I made the decision not to have health insurance during that time, I got penalized for it, and that money went to somebody else who wanted that healthcare. I'm like, that's fine if you want it, but I should not be penalized for not choosing it.
That comes to the constitutional core principle, right? It's choice. Right. Everybody in America wants choice. That's the issue here, is that they keep saying that everything has to be mandatory. No, if you want to opt into a system, opt into it. That means you benefit from something you opt into. If you don't want to, then you don't have to pay for it. That should be the option.
But not just opt into it, but not
choice. Choice is the big word here, is having a choice if you want to do that. If I want to be the choice to use the Second Amendment, I should be able to. Same thing with the First. I have a choice to do so, but I can't force other people not to. That's the same thing with healthcare. It's like, I can opt into a government system if I want to, but I also have a private option if I want to. There should always be a choice.
Right. And the thing, though, is that when you adopt a more socialist mentality, you are removing that choice from individuals.
Yes.
And that's nobody always tries to force the issue, is not letting people have a choice.
That's it. And that's where I think that uniparty, populist party, is going to ultimately fail, because more people want to be able to choose, and when you remove that by penalizing people with taxes, that is where you lose people.
Well, but on that note, that this is when they create this party, they would have to state that, we are not going to do X, Y, and Z to the people that are part of this party, because they opt out of that portion. If you want it, you paying, you can get it free. You want it free. You want free healthcare. You can sign up for that. If this guy doesn't over here, he doesn't have to. He can still buy into the private sector, but we're not going to force them to do it. Now, if they say they're going to force us all to do it and you're going to get free healthcare, then that's going to be a problem.
Right. It comes down to like the market choice of, like, if you make the system so good that people want to opt into it, that's the best option, is to make it good. Same thing with schooling, right? Is like, having school choice is so important because, again, choice is finding the best program. That's the whole issue. You have to have competition to find the best program. That's it.
Go ahead, Marlon. I know
AJ's a fool, bro.
AJ's crazy.
AJ's a real fool. You see, now you made me lose my train of thought. Like
You can get it back, old man.
No, it's very difficult for it to come back once it's gone. The thing about it, they introduced this idea of the choice idea to make you feel guilty when they did the whole abortion thing, right?
Yeah.
When they tell it as a choice, and I'm for you making that choice. I really am. I'm pro-choice now, because here's why I'm pro-choice. If you are a liberal and you want to not have liberal babies, I'm for that. However, I don't think that I should have to pay for you not to have it. I think you should already have, like, if you know, like you're a rebel and you're going to a show on the strip and you're planning to cause ruckus and you have bail money. It's kind of like that. You need to have abortion money. How about you just keep your money in a location that if you know that you're going to be promiscuous, that you don't have to worry about me paying for it. You just go and get it done. And if you want to be, that's you. Do what you got to do. And people will think, well, you're still killing the baby. I'm not killing nothing. They're killing it. I'm not going to have to answer for them. I am done trying to fight for them to have to answer for them. That's their choice. When they burn, they burn. I don't care about that. I really don't. Because the baby's taken care of by whoever created the baby. You know who I'm talking about? God himself. Yes. So I'm not worried about that. And I don't care about their soul because they don't care about their soul. I'm not going to be more concerned about them than they're concerned about them. So they can go ahead and have whatever they want. That's their choice. However, do not force me to join your depraved thought process and expect me to believe that what you're doing is something humane for a baby.
Yeah,
I'm still going to call you what you are, which is what? A murderer. And I have the choice to do that.
And on your point, Marlon, that is a good idea. You know, if you choose to get an abortion, every time you go and get one, that money plus interest should come out their Social Security if you don't have the money to pay for it. The taxpayers shouldn't be paying for the government. So they have all the Social Security. If you don't have a Social Security, if you're a minor and you're not working, then it comes out your parents' Social Security check. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
there's a lot of things we could do with Social Security. So think of it having an optional system for healthcare, right? Is like a part of Social Security can also be optional opt-in to healthcare services, right? So you pay a little bit more if you want that service attached to your Social Security. So it comes out of your paycheck already. You don't even think about it, right? And everybody that is opting into the system pays into that system. Now, if you want to use it, but you haven't been paying into it, this is where it comes in. It's like you can't use it because you didn't pay into it, right? So you're on a list of non-users until you've been paying into it for a certain period of time, say a year or more, right? So that would be the only way that would make sense to me for a choice, is like something you opt in for, like Social Security, right? Same thing. If you opt into the system, then you get the benefits of the system. If you don't get to use it.
Wouldn't that be cool if you could opt out of Social Security?
You should be able to. The way we use Social Security now was never meant to be it wasn't intended to be used
at all. It's become a secondary savings account for the government.
They also rob it. That's the problem, is that they're saying, it's not. Yeah, because you keep stealing from it. That's the issue of it. Is like I said, it's like we can pay for all kinds of wars overseas, but we can't make soluble the actual Social Security that everybody's paying into, that are expecting to use it when they get old.
That's kind of sort of the reason why I want to pull all that Social Security money out now for me.
I mean, I think you should have it.
That's it.
I think you should have that option, you know, especially like with me being retired from the military. Once I retired from the military, I should have that option. You know, I did 20 plus years, you know, over 20, almost 22 years. I should have that option. I want my Social Security. You should get that option. You should always have the option. Just like, you know, how you can get a return, an early tax return. You call the IRS and they can figure it's the same thing should be on Social Security. You know, whenever you're going through hard times, you should be able to call the Social Security office and say, hey, I'm going through some hard times. I need some of my Social Security.
I have an answer for you. I have an answer for you.
What's that?
Change your name to Ukraine.
That
or Jose.
I don't know why I didn't change my name to Zelensky.
I identify as Ukraine from here on out, and I deserve some money, please. Just
Israel, one of the two. Yeah.
My name is Vladimir Zelensky now.
Everybody changed their name to Zelensky. Okay?
And I live in Gaza. I live in Gaza, and I'm from Mexico.
Yeah, I live in Gaza. Vladimir Zelensky from Gaza, and I live in Ghana too.
That's where the most of, like I said, most of the frustration with American taxpayers is the fact that they feel that their taxes are wasted.
Well, and they are.
They wouldn't be. They are wasted. We know they're wasted.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just look at the fact that that gay porn was filmed on the steps in the Congress Hall. I mean, that's a waste of our tax dollars right there.
Yeah, that is a waste.
And think about this. Think
Or
about
gender
this
studies
is a good point, Jay. Like, okay, gay porn was filmed on the floor. How
Yeah.
much money is it going to cost the taxpayers to investigate that? How much is it
more
going to
than
cost?
the video? More than the video sold for.
Or how much is it going to cost the taxpayers when January 6th finally wraps up and they stop prosecuting people? How much is that going to cost?
Oh,
It's just all a waste of money. Everything. This is why I'm anti-tax.
It's insane.
But,
It's like people would be more willing to opt into a system if they knew their money wasn't going to get blown on BS. That's really what it comes down to.
Like allowing gay porn to be filmed on the Congress floor.
Right. So like the whole socialist programs, call them like that, or just entitlement programs, leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth because they use it as a scapegoat to blame for why the reason they don't have any money. And it's not true. And same thing with the government. They never have enough money because they keep spending it on places they shouldn't be spending it instead of taking care of the people, which is their responsibility as government.
and you know why that happens?
We let them.
Corruption.
It's our fault. Everything that happens is our fault. We vote them in over and over again. Only time we really voice our opinion, really, is close to election time. That's when people really start digging deep into politics, except for us podcasters and us political, kind of people. But the majority of Americans don't care until it's that time. Then they're like, oh, now I care. And then we just vote them back in. Uninformed voters vote the same person back in that's been stealing their money. And it's just go over and over, revolving door, over and over again. We allow it. And they laugh at us because they know we're going to allow it. Because they threaten us with jail. They threaten us with this. They threaten us with that. They're in control of everything. And they were like, these people will heed to our demands.
Yep.
And if they try to revolt, we'll send F-15s and bomb, stuff like that. It's because they control us out of fear.
And it will continue to do so.
Mm-hmm. It's a dang shame, but good times are coming.
It eventually will.
Yep.
We will be having a show Wednesday. We just have not decided on which yet. But we will. Huh?
We need to have AJ on Wednesday. He's in there.
He keeps saying he's gonna be available, but he ain't never available.
He's never available.
Never available. He
He's
don't
too
wanna
good
actually
for
talk
us.
to
He's part of
He's
that
too
red
good.
room crowd.
Whatever.
Yeah,
The
he's
rat
above
room.
that. He's above all that.
No,
Now,
he's above
I
it.
wanted
All
to grab
those
a
peasants.
Didn't he
I wanted to
get locked down? He got locked down today, didn't he?
You got like them.
Did your live get shut down today, bro? Because I was on it. I think he got knocked down.
Because Myron was in there talking.
Yeah,
I can't stand Myron.
So we'll talk about it. I'm trying to see if there's anything floating around X right now that would come straight to mind, but X is filled with fighting and that particular dude we just talked about today. So
you know what? Yeah, but that'd be kind of a good topic. We can bring AJ in for this one and other creators if they want. But we can talk about like how social media how the TikTok lives work out and what we talked about before the show, Marlon, which you mentioned during that live. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Instead of like a topic base, it is a topic base, but we kind of just talk about why we think things are the way they are when it comes to especially like Black conservatives and all this and Asian conservatives, Hispanics, and I don't know. And try it out.
we have a race discussion.
Yeah. That was tomorrow. We on the Hooch. We've got a really big race discussion. If you want to come by
Oh,
for
good.
that show, it's going to be 6:00 tomorrow.
Oh
Tuesday,
yeah, Marlon.
The Hooch.
Is that
You
You should
Easter?
come. We're going to be doing the Leave the World Behind, but also the American Society of Magical Negroes. That's what we're doing.
Oh, okay. I know what we can talk about.
He's not Jamaican. They kept calling
The,
him Myron.
the removal of standards for Black students in order for them to pass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
We'll talk
There was
about that because a lot more people are doing this now. Many states
was
are
a-
passing this new rule.
I have something I wanted to read to everybody. This is a book that I've had for a while. It's,
Are you like
how to-
LeBron James, where he's still on page 1?
It's a book, right? It's Quintus Cicero. This is Cicero's brother, right? He wrote this to him on winning elections, right? It's how to win an election. And number 5 is promise everything to everybody, except in the most extreme cases, candidates should say whatever the particular crowd of the day wants to hear. That's the first line, by the way.
And that's
Tell-
that's very real.
It's true. And tell traditionalists you have consistently supported conservative values. Tell progressives you have always been on their side. After the election, you can explain to everyone that you would love to help them, but unfortunately, circumstances beyond your control have intervened.
Sounds like every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
I think on that note, we should end with some hilarity. I think it's appropriate.
Yes.
I
Let's
think we
do
should
it.
end with some hilarity. So let's end with the captain himself.
Taylor, you want to follow up?
Yeah. So you're holding the autobiography of Malcolm X along with Alex Haley. I don't know how far you are into the book, but what's your biggest takeaway so far?
I kind of just started a couple days ago, but I've read and a lot of notes over the years. This is my first time actually reading this from start to finish. But just a very very smart man, very 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 smart man, and basically his words in the 60s and what was going on is actually what's going on today still. And understanding how powerful the Negro can be. He uses that word a lot. How powerful we are. But we have to unite, and we have to be together. We have to stand strong, because there's always going to be obstacles. There's always going to be things that's going to be thrown at us where they try to weaken us.
That's not even what the book says.
Make us feel like we're not kings and queens.
He never said that, by the way.
And it's going to come from all different races and different shapes and sizes and things of that nature. And just a very powerful minded gentleman. And it's unbelievable to kind of read something that's coming directly from him.
Painful. Watch this guy.
You could have just said you didn't read the damn book.
It's like
His thoughts have yet to
I remember
come to
doing this.
fruition.
I remember doing this. Okay, I am guilty of being in school and knowing I didn't do the homework. I didn't read the book, and I didn't even bother to read the back of it to get the synopsis. And
That's what I used to do.
I took the title, and I just kind of assumed what might be in the book, and I just talked for like 2 minutes. That's what he just did, bro. Like, the book was a nice cover. I really appreciate the cover, and the pages were really pagey. They were quite pagey, and
Listen, whenever I buy a book, and I do buy books, I still go to Barnes and I order a lot of books. I always read the synopsis before I even buy it. I pick it up and I look at the back and see what it's about and give a little breakdown of what I'm reading. He could have, like you said, he could at least did that.
could have done that.
He could have at least gone on.
What he failed to talk about was Malcolm X talked about Negroes just like him.
Yeah.
This is the same man that opened up a public school in Ohio.
Hopefully, they're smarter than he is at this exact moment. That's all I got.
Coy, the problem is they have not had a graduate emerge from that school in 3 years.
Well, it takes time for people to graduate.
give them
It's a
benefit.
5-year
I'm
school.
sorry.
It's a 5-year
that could be
school?
part of
I don't know. I'm just giving him an excuse.
It's a 5-year program. Okay?
Touche.
That could be part of the topic Wednesday too. LeBron School, add that in there.
How about we do LeBron school and Umar school?
Is it up? Is he? Did it,
No, it's still up here. It's up. It's up here. It's up here.
Okay.
He ain't even used the method yet. He's supposed to be so smart. There is a method where it's in your head, then you write it down, then
if you saw his room, you'd think more he was a method. Have you seen his room? His room is nasty, bro.
One thing I would say, since we're talking about that tomorrow and doing the kind of like anti-white rhetoric that keeps coming out of Hollywood, there is a show that I watched recently that is really good. That's the Lawman, Bass Reeves.
Mhm.
Watch that. That is good stuff. It's good stuff. It really is. Like, it shows you how to be a real man. Very strong black man, protecting his family, taking care of his own, and being a righteous figure, an honorable man. That's the important things we need in America today.
wasn't he the
Is
real
what
Lone
he's-
Ranger?
He was.
What the hell is that?
That's his house. He accidentally turned his camera around, and that's his floor,
Is that
his
Dirty
window. Look at the
Diapers?
broken thing here. dirt and everywhere, papers everywhere. What's that brown stuff on the floor? I don't even know.
It looks like an elephant wiped his
Jeez.
butt.
Yeah, that's the educated professor of all blacks right there.
Oh yeah. You know, one of the rules of doing good in life is to clean your space.
Yeah. Clean your
He
room.
didn't listen to Jordan Peterson. Clean your
No.
room, make up your bed.
He probably. I ain't gonna say.
The hardest part of everything is to make sure you make up your bed. Don't just leave it there. Do what you've got to do.
And that's the problem. That's the problem with young black men and women, young black people. They actually look up to people like that because they talk a good game.
True.
That's
I'm
crazy.
trying to find it.
And even if you show them the truth, they're still not gonna believe it.
He just needs to listen to more Jordan Peterson and make his bed. Get up in the morning, make a plan, get it done. Only
Make a
you can
plan.
solve you. Come
That should be
on,
the first step. Get up in the morning, make your bed.
make your bed,
Make your bed.
make a plan, do something.
Yep. Write it down. Thought, paper, action. That's how it
Come
goes.
on, do it now. Do it now.
Get to the
Come on.
chopper.
So
The
this
Prince
is
of
this
Pan
is,
Not
Africa.
humor.
this is the show I'm talking about right here. It's on Paramount Plus. If you've got it, you can watch it. It's part of the Sheridan verse, like Yellowstone and all that. It's the same producer that's producing all those shows.
Oh wow.
A black
So, like,
leaf?
it's-
No,
it's-
I'm not watching it.
It's a good show. I recommend it. 4 episodes in.
I don't
It's,
watch TV.
No, I don't watch black people. I'm sorry.
It's a good show. I'm saying I'm recommending it because it is.
I am a
I only watch those great white hopes in them
great white people. Let down. If you don't want me doing the white thing, don't show me no black people. Come on now.
Because one of the most important things that he's said there is like showing like he has every right to hate white people the way that most people do today, and he
But he
chooses
doesn't?
not to.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not good. He needs to hate him. Definitely not a good show.
And like he holds up his oath and morals. That's what's really good about the show is that he stands by his morals.
I want
And
Black
shows going to be a
Dynamite.
good man.
I'll watch Black Dynamite before I watch anything else.
Is he one of them black people on that nail?
Yeah, they were talking that nonsense. Well.
It's based off the real Lone Ranger. I mean, I can't tell you any more than that. You got to look up the
That's the
history
Brown
of
Ranger. That's the Brown
the
Ranger.
Brown
Big
Ranger.
difference.
Brown.
Big difference. So we'll talk Wednesday about black issues, and we have 2 on the panel. At least we're not called it normally, but we still
We might
consider
have
ourselves
AJ.
that. So
We
we'll still
might have
talk about
AJ.
it.
If AJ,
If
get on his
AJ
high
can make it,
horse.
we'll have the panel outnumbered, and the white boy will be the minority at that point, which would be good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just that's the story of my life right here. I'm still a
Technically,
minority.
we both Jay and I are the minorities.
No.
on the panel.
No.
You're not Asian. Even though your eyes are more squinty than Jay's, you're not Asian.
That's true. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Squint.
Yeah,
Squint more.
Yeah.
Look,
Squint more. There you go.
Squint
There it is. There it is.
Like,
Koreans
I
will call them string eyes.
try.
Yeah, I would probably be at home in Asian cities.
Listen to it. Say his name.
You must be
Say his
half.
name.
Koi.
Koi.
Koi fish. Koi. Koi.
I have 0 Asian, by the way. 0 Asian. I have more
Koi
black than I
fish,
have.
bring a good rock. It's a good rock chomp.
It's like it's funny to me.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring up our names so everyone knows exactly who we are. Because that's how I rock.
Mhm.
By this time, if you don't know who we are, you're
You see, I changed his name.
Yeah, just go with the Japanese way of doing it. There you go. I'm the fish.
He's the fish.
He is a koideshi. Koyonara.
I eat little pellets and swim around all day.
Hey, man. Anyway,
He
it was
bring a
fun.
good rock to people.
This was a good show. I could use this laugh. This week has been tumultuous upon me, so it's been a good thing to laugh today. I'm appreciative of it.
Right.
Wednesday, race relations and what exactly is happening, and tomorrow, don't forget, Straight Talk is back. Just not the way you might expect it.
I saw that
And
episode.
then on Wednesday on Straight Talk, I will be talking about Geno Jennings. Listen up, brothers. Listen. I'm going to tell you about it. I'm a blasphemous fool. That's what I'm going to talk about is Geno Jennings on Wednesday. So don't miss that one. I found some new stuff about him. You all going to be interested about that. So don't go nowhere. Please make sure you go to our store. We got some new stuff up there. The bottom B, I saw someone purchase one. Thank you very much. We do have one more that we will be bringing in soon, and I'm going to show it to you. because I think it's
guys need-
essential that you see it.
You guys need to get this one. Please.
y'all need to get this one. I'm not
You
gonna
need to
lie.
get
Like you need to get this one. If I can find it here.
Which one? The one we just did.
The one I just did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's the most efficient one we can find.
YouTube, this is for educational purposes only.
Yes,
Even if it
education.
wasn't, it's for hilarious purposes either way.
Right. Well, why is finding that
um,
the Hooch will be on live tomorrow night instead of Sunday because we missed it because of scheduling issues.
All right. Now the font may vary, but this is exactly what we're gonna be in terms of picture. This is what it's going to look like. Okay. Thanks to Koi for putting this for us. Why am I not bringing this up yet? Come on, go back.
Yes, Chris. 7 p.m. tomorrow,
Copy.
EST.
Paste. There we go. All right, this is it here. If you heard of Elf on a Shelf, get ready for Joe on a Hoe. Okay, that's gonna be the new shirt. This is gonna be the new shirt. Elf on a Shelf, Joe on a Hoe.
You guys get it while it's hot.
In the Christmas spirit, you know,
Yeah.
the Christmas spirit. I
Thanks,
think
Chris.
it's
Well,
only.
we should do Christmas colors then. Maybe that'll.
Yeah, we should. If you can find a way to get it in Christmas colors, that'd be great.
Will it get delivered by Christmas?
I don't know. Well, it'd be ready by then. I don't know if you can. I think there's an expedition thing, and you can probably do
Yeah.
it by first of the year. But it's a year-round shirt either way because the title says exactly what it's always going to be. So
I think
right.
that should be on the back.
that'd be a great one
Joe
because there's a piggyback ride. I agree.
Yeah. on the
I
back.
agree.
Yeah. You put the Scottish Patriots
I can
logo
put.
on.
Have you heard of Elf on the Shelf on the front, and then I'll put
Yeah.
"Get ready for Joe
Yeah.
on the Hoe" on the back.
Yeah.
Bet it is done. So we'll talk about race Wednesday, Gino Wednesday, and we'll talk tomorrow on Straight Talk. Mr. Lee,
So like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you all Wednesday.
peace.